In the underbelly of Gotham City, a place forgotten by hope and ravaged by despair, lived a man named Arthur Fleck. Arthur struggled daily to find meaning in a world that seemed determined to crush his spirit. He battled mental illness and worked as a clown, for hire, often enduring ridicule from both the privileged and the destitute. Gotham was a powder keg of social unrest, and Arthur's life was a mere spark away from exploding. As Arthur's life spiraled further into despair, he found solace in the work of a late-night talk show host named Murray Franklin. In his mind, Murray represented the epitome of success, a man who had it all: a loving family, a thriving career, and the admiration of millions. Arthur fantasized about appearing on Murray's show, believing that it would be the key to finally being noticed and validated. However, Arthur's world took a dark turn when his therapy and medication support were cut off due to budget cuts in Gotham's struggling mental health system. As he descended deeper into madness, Arthur's delusions became more pronounced. He began to paint a warped picture of reality, often confusing his fantasies with actual memories. One fateful day, while performing as a clown on the streets, Arthur was assaulted by a group of privileged youths who saw him as an easy target for their cruelty. The brutal attack left him battered and broken, both physically and emotionally. Yet, in that moment of vulnerability, something within Arthur snapped, and he felt a surge of newfound power and liberation from societal constraints. Embracing this newfound liberation, Arthur started to see the world differently. He began to perceive the hypocrisy and injustices that plagued Gotham at every level. The city's corruption, the disparity between the rich and the poor, and the callousness of those in power fueled his resentment. With a painted smile, Arthur adopted the persona of the Joker, a twisted embodiment of chaos and rebellion. Driven by a desire to expose the truth behind Gotham's facade, he sought retribution against those he believed had wronged him and the voiceless masses around him. As the Joker's actions escalated, a mysterious figure emerged from the shadows, an investigative journalist named Olivia Sullivan. Unlike other media outlets that sensationalized the Joker's acts for ratings, Olivia sought to understand the man behind the madness. Her persistent research and willingness to delve into Arthur's troubled past revealed a human side of the Joker that had remained hidden from the public. Olivia discovered that Arthur's upbringing was riddled with neglect and abuse, shaping the deeply damaged individual he had become. The city's failing mental health system had failed him time and again, and Olivia realized that the Joker was a product of Gotham's collective negligence. In a daring move, Olivia managed to secure a televised interview with the Joker, facilitated by her connection to Murray Franklin's show. As the world watched with bated breath, the Joker used the platform to deliver a scathing indictment of Gotham society. He exposed the corruption, the indifference, and the cruelty that had consumed the city. But amidst the chaos he wrought, the Joker's actions also ignited a spark of rebellion within Gotham's downtrodden citizens. Protests and riots erupted across the city as people, inspired by the Joker's brazen defiance, demanded change. As the city spiraled into anarchy, Olivia struggled with her ethical dilemma. Should she continue to give the Joker a platform to incite violence, or should she use her influence to help quell the chaos and promote peaceful reform? The line between journalism and activism blurred as she grappled with the impact of her choices. In a climactic sequence, the Joker finally got his wish and appeared on Murray Franklin's talk show. The two engaged in a charged exchange that laid bare the Joker's pain and the injustices he had faced. However, it became evident that Murray was merely using the Joker's story for entertainment, pushing him further into desperation. As the cameras rolled and millions watched, the Joker, driven by a mix of rage and despair, took matters into his own hands. In a shocking turn of events, he killed Murray on live television, sending shockwaves through Gotham and the entire nation. The aftermath of this act was devastating. Gotham City plunged into a state of emergency, and the Joker's actions sparked a citywide manhunt. Olivia, racked with guilt over her role in the tragedy, vowed to bring the Joker's story to a close and expose the systemic failures that allowed him to become the embodiment of Gotham's collective pain. In a final confrontation, Olivia faced the Joker, unmasking the human beneath the painted facade. She offered him a chance to put an end to the chaos and seek help, highlighting that his story had resonated with countless people and brought to light the city's urgent need for change. Faced with his own vulnerability and the weight of his actions, the Joker hesitated, torn between the darkness that consumed him and the possibility of redemption. As sirens echoed in the distance, signaling the approach of law enforcement, the Joker made a fateful decision. With tears in his eyes, he asked Olivia to tell his story truthfully, not as a celebration of chaos, but as a cautionary tale of a broken system. He knew that his legacy would be one of darkness, but he hoped that it could also serve as a catalyst for change and provoke the city to address its issues. As the authorities closed in, the Joker vanished into the night, leaving Gotham forever changed in his wake. Olivia fulfilled her promise and wrote a searing expose that laid bare the truth behind the Joker's transformation. Her work sparked a nationwide conversation about mental health care, social inequality, and the responsibility of society to protect its most vulnerable. In the end, the Joker's legacy was not one of triumph or defeat, but of revelation, a distorted reflection of a city that had lost its way. As the years passed, his story would become a haunting reminder that true villains were not born in darkness, but were products of a society that failed to address its own demons.